Hello and welcome to an inspiration pop-up from Mallorca and from
Cape Town.
okay, so we are in our most favorite places today, and we are hoping that you have a wonderful week. Your week started so well, but sometimes it doesn't start so well, and this is the point where people sometimes think, I should get help. And Bridget, when was your first contact with coaching, or when was your first need where you thought coaching is a good field of working?
The first time was figuring out, what do I want to do? So yeah, what is my purpose? Why am I actually here? Because my belief is very often we get into a career, we study something getting into a career because we're good at it, but that doesn't mean that that's our purpose. Sometimes you can be good at something, so you do it, but actually it's not your life purpose. So that was my first. I don't know about you.
How old were you?
This was probably about 15 years ago.
Okay, 15 years ago. Okay.
No, more. Because this was when I was, I'm 48. No, this is probably about 20 years ago.
Okay, so about when you were 20.
Yeah, my 20s, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because then it was earlier than me, because I started started with this scene of coaching and also being interested in psychology, like when I was 35 or so, like almost 6 years ago. So it's a short journey for me, but an intense. No? And we are talking about today about the subject, why should I get a life coach? In which situation, when can it help, and where is the limit? When can't we not help anymore? No?
Yeah.
So what would you suggest?
So I think that's very much what the first thing we were saying about, like, what is your purpose and how do you unlock that? You know, how do you figure out what that is, and then how do you make that into something? Because if it was so easy, I think people wouldn't be stuck in jobs they don't like.
Yeah, and and in this part, when you become a people pleaser because you're someone who wants to do things you don't like for people you don't like, then there is a point you have to turn around and say, is that my life? Or if you feel it and you can't really bring it to a point. Or the other thing is, as it was my case, I was sick. I had so much pain in my muscles and joints. I thought it's a virus, but it was a virus, but it did take too long. So this can all be symptoms where you should ask yourself, am I on the right track? Right?
Yeah, and you need to also take the time, right? You need to, figure out, like, what is my purpose? How do I unlock that? And you need to then put things in place. Like, it's work you need to do on yourself. And I think to do it on your own is very challenging, because where do you begin? And to do it with a friend is hard, because friends are amazing, but they're not coaches, they're your support. So they're going to be, say you're amazing, but they won't necessarily know what questions to ask to help you to figure out what your purpose is.
Yeah, right.
Doing something, yeah.
And I also realized I had big dreams and I wanted to have a freer life or a different life. But yeah, sometimes you have to stop dreaming and start acting. And I never really dared to do it because I had my secure job, and it was so fearful to leave it or to change it, even if I didn't leave it directly. So I just took less hours and tried to start something new. But still, you were in this system, and there's no time to really be creative, or if you are not guided from a person who did that path already, it's really difficult and long. No? So I have a friend as well, she did it all on her own. She is French, she's Canadian, and she's a digital nomad, and she did it all on herself. And I read her book and I said, she has so many insights, what I just got from life coaches like Bridget or other ones, and from my trainers. But it's a long, long and deep way. So if you want to do it alone, it's possible, but it takes a long way. So if you like the shortcuts, take a life coach.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is that with the coaching, it's, it helps you build your self-confidence. and take responsibility, because the coaching is about coaching the person, not the problem. So it's about you taking the responsibility to make choices. Because I left the fitness industry in 2013. We're now in 2021. That's a long time ago that I left the fitness industry. But that has been such a journey, and working on myself as much as what I do. So yeah, I think it is. To do it on your own is hard, because you have your own little, I don't know, demons or self-sabotage or self-doubt that just kind of plays over and over in your head.
Yeah, and the interesting thing as well is you have like you think you create your world what it could be, this dream or this other life. But the funny thing is, if you're working in this personal growth scene, or you take some coachings, and so there are doors opening you would never have expected, and then there is a new combination of your puzzle parts, or I don't know how you call it, but and you think, ooh, interesting. Yeah, so like for me, like I love the juggling, and I always thought I'm becoming a circus trainer or doing stuff with kids, and now it forms like a speaking enterprise with juggling to summarize big congresses. And I think, I would never have thought of this, but I was working so much and opened my inner self so much to receive what it's coming. And this is the biggest gift you can get from life coaching and from working with yourself.
So before we go, tell everybody what's happening in case that they can pop in.
Okay, you're right, I would have almost forgotten it. Now I'm in Mallorca at the moment, and I have another coaching colleague. She's called Trudy, and she's from Switzerland. And we formed some people on online courses with trainers where we learn from. And now we developed and created our own little seminar, and we're doing in Mallorca because we do it in Mallorca because it's still wonderful weather. You see that sun is shining and the beach is close. So we have yoga in the morning, and then we have exercises where you get out of your comfort zone, also with challenges on the coast, on coastal walks and jumping into the water and stuff like that, but also very silent time where we dive deep into your inner voice, and we want to bring out your inner voice. And so I'm doing also a workshop in the evening to how to be in front of the camera, how to bring your message out. And so we do first the inner work and then the outer work, and it will be a nice community, I guess.
So how would they get hold? If somebody wanted to do it, how would they get hold of you? Would they
we can post the link under the video, and because you have to book it through Martina's business, who is organizing it, and it's starting on the 14th and getting to the 17th of October. So if you are spontaneous and find a cheap flight, come to Mallorca, and we're happy to see you and meet you here. And the next thing what we are organizing is in Cape Town with Bridget next year. So I'm really looking forward if I can bring you to the nicest places in the world.
Yeah. We'll see.
So have a wonderful week. We hope you are inspired, and we meet you somewhere in the world.
Bye.